Alright, so I picked up this KUTTER X on eBay for like 20 bucks. I went ahead and reground some geometry into the blade face there. A lot of these axes I find have a really heavy apple seed on the front of them here, and they really don't need it. Or maybe it's just been sharpened down and ground down so much that they've brought the geometry out of it. So I take it to my grinder, and I've got that big industrial World War I grinder. That was my first real industrial purchase for equipment-wise, and that thing has been fantastic. It's 100% duty, big Delco. It's an AC repulsion motor on it. I think it's about a 7 horse or 5 horse or something. 4-belt drive. Thing is awesome. But I brought down the geometry on here a little bit, and so it's a little finer point coming to it. So I've got it to where I want it. The shape of it is right where I want it. As far as the geometry here, nice smooth sweep along the bottom. Little bit of a sweep on the top there, and so I'm going to go ahead and handle it, and I'm going to there's a ridge and some burrs along the inside of the edge here, especially on the top here. There's a nice ridge in there, so I've got to take that down and file that out. So I'll do that first, and then I found a handle at the local. It's like a Tractor Supply, but down in Texas here we have an Atwoods. So found a really nice handle, and I don't know why, but they only cut down for the wedge halfway. I mean, it stops here. Well, the axe seat's way down here. I don't know why you would only cut enough slot there for the wedge halfway. So I'm gonna have to cut down the slot. I'm gonna have to shape this to the axe head, but it's got a really nice profile to it, and a really nice feel in the hand. I mean, I can grip it all the way around to where my fingers touching just the middle finger. It's just perfect, and it's got a nice swell on the end of it, and the grain is actually really good too. You know, it's not a perfect 90 degrees or parallel with the face of the axe, but it's pretty close, and I really like it, and it's a nice tight grain. So I'm not going to do all that stuff. I'm not going to do all that stuff on camera, or I might speed it up a little bit, but it's just it's abnormally boring to watch somebody with a foreign hand shaping an axe handle. So I'm going to do that on my own. Also, I went ahead and worked the grinder, and got all the paint off of the old fans that I'm working on too, and repainting. You can see it back there in the hanging off the shed. Those are going to be really nice. Those are both big motor Emersons. I've got 2 of them that both need a little help. I've got a 21 666. I'm going to be putting some new blades on the hub. It's a cast hub. It's extremely difficult. I've been working on my arbor press and making some dives to get that set up to be able to swedge those rivets, and then taking all the paint off, repainting them, refurbing the whole fan, really, from the motor to the paint to the blades to the cage to the this and to the that, and you'll see a really nice fan come out of that. I'm not going to get it all done in one day. I've been working on them all day, and it's not camera friendly work, sitting in front of a grinder and a wire wheel with a mask on. So that's what I've been doing for a lot of the day. Of course, you know, mowing and washing the dogs and all the man things that we have to do around the house. So But I got this really nice 4-in-1, an older one from an estate sale, and the newer ones don't have quite the harshness of what these have on here. The newer ones just don't have that. So I found this one, and hopefully it'll make my handling of axes quite a bit easier. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I may put it on camera, I may not. It's just extremely boring, but when I get this keen cutter axe head fitting up close, and then I can start actually into it with a file, now that I've got the geometry right and the profile right, I'll clean it up. And I got a new buffer. I may put it on the buffer. I may make this one a really nice showpiece type of axe where it's nice and shiny. And I don't know. I haven't made one that's nice and shiny yet. I like them usable. I like them to where, you know, I don't care if I put it in the back of the truck or in the toolbox and go down and cut a tree down with it. So I may just leave it as is, but I'll put a new handle on it anyway, and we'll see where it goes from there. Alright, I think we're there. I've got it pretty well seated all the way around here. I've got a really nice grab. As I was filing it down with the forehand, I was making sure that it was going to sit on there just right and not seat too far forward, not seat too far back, and have the alignment of it right, have it perfectly in line with the axe. And I think I've got it there. I cut the notch a little bit deeper, and there's really no point in continuing to drive it down. This axe handle was made so it's going to seat heavy, and I mean it's still got the same amount of meat whether I continue to file it off or not. I mean, I'm going to file it down, and then there's less meat, and it's going to be the same amount of meat that's already seated in the axe here. So I think I'm going to call it good there. We're running out of light, but I think I'm going to go ahead and finish it out. A little bit showing there. I like a little bit proud along the top. And then I may just go ahead and take it back off the handle at this point, get my finish sharp, because right now it's still pretty dull. And yeah, I'm going to do that. We'll pick it back up tomorrow. Okay, so I got the blade just razor sharp, and now I'm just applying a little bit of transmission fluid, automatic transmission fluid. I use it for cutting fluid and just all kinds of stuff. I don't know why. But I'm adding a little bit to the inside here. Help that axe head go on there, and also help prevent some of this rust that was starting to take hold inside of there. So yeah, she's pretty sharp. I don't know about the hair cutting test. No, not quite. Probably have to strop it. Got a few stray hairs there. And I've got a strop, but I mean, for all intents and purposes, it's an axe. It's not a shaving device, and it is really sharp. I like everything about it. I like the profile. I like the way that it cleaned up. I got all the edges knocked off of it. I got just a little bit of an edge right there on the inside. I'll take that off. And then I should be ready to handle it. Yeah, I really like axes. I'm not an axe collector per se, but axes for me are tools. And if it isn't a functional tool, I would be more upset than, you know, it's got pitting on it. Or, you know, it's got a little bit of red paint left over from when somebody had put some paint on it. So for me, it is all about functionality. And here on Man Time, that is goal number one. Is it functional? And was it made well and worth taking care of? And this one is. I like it. So there's the profile of it. I got it just a slight upward angle there, and then on the bottom of it a nice curve. And I've yeah, got that profile in there just the way I like it. It wasn't like that when I got it, but it is going to be really nice. I had a buddy, you know, comment on my car and how nice it drives, and how nicely aligned it is, and how, you know, smooth the acceleration was. And you know, I kind of had to say, well, this isn't how all of them are. This is how I made mine to be, and that's kind of, you know, I'm putting my name on here and putting my stamp on it. I want it to be as perfect as I can get it. So let's get the handle on there, and then take a couple practice swings with it. One more thing I'm going to do here is to use my low angle spoke shave and just get all this nasty varnish off of here. Really don't need all this varnish on here.